What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Thursday, November the 30th, 7 a.m. New York time. And welcome back to the Venator Trading live stream, sponsored by our incredible stream sponsors, Bespoke Funding Program. If you're looking to pick up a challenge, I can't recommend a better company to you. They are fantastic, absolutely amazing to work with and be partnered with, and super happy that they're part of the stream with us here every single day. In fact, we'll be giving away a 10K account challenge with them tomorrow on tomorrow's stream. We will be doing a 10K account giveaway from Bespoke tomorrow, so make sure you're here for that. But coming into the last day of the month, closing out November today, we do have some news coming out at 8:30 in about an hour and a half that should provide some I don't know, I guess some clear direction, at least for the last day of the month, with some CPE, some core price indexing, and all that kind of stuff coming out. So we'll see how that affects the price movement, the charts, all the things that we watch and wait for. For those that are just kind of tuning in over the last couple of days, I have started a futures challenge, my first futures challenge, and that's mostly a lot because of some of the viewers here on the stream have kept pushing me to try a futures challenge. And so we have an Apex futures challenge going right now. We actually have two Apex futures challenges. They were running a 90% off sale over Black Friday, Thanksgiving holidays, and all that kind of stuff. And so I picked up two 100K challenges. And the first one, let me pull this up here. So here's the first account. It is currently sitting at almost 2.4% profit. The profit target is 6% on both of these, and they both do have a trailing drawdown limit of $3,000. And so not a huge fan of the trailing drawdown, but giving it a shot. We're going to see how these challenges go, and we're going to, just roll with them a little bit. The second account I started actually yesterday. Actually, last night took the first position on a quick oil trade, just a quick 1-to-1, actually a little bit more than 1-to-1, but got that up to 1.3% last night on a quick scalp. So both of them sitting in profit right now. They do have a trade copier where I can copy trade off of both of these onto one account, and I may get that set up eventually, but right now I'm just going to go back and forth between the two and manage them as we go. So that's kind of the plan. That's what I'm working on right now. So the stream today and tomorrow, I'm going to be talking mostly probably about the future stuff. We'll look at the Forex. I actually have a nice little breaker set up here on Eurodollar, 30-minute time frame. We ran buy-side liquidity. We have displaced lower. Coming back up into this leg of this displacement leg down. The Eurodollar came out with some inflation data that's showing that their inflation is cooling off, and so there was an anticipation of the Eurozone kind of being the first to introduce a rate cut, which would be weakness for Euro. So this is kind of if we are going to get a kind of end of the month, so let's look at the monthly candle real quick, right? If we are going to get any kind of a top wick, we've already got a top wick in, but you could see how this could pull back a little bit. Any close above this fair value gap on the monthly time frame to me still seems bullish. If we displace back, if today's candle closes back up above that, then I think we remain bullish going into December to close out the year. Maybe retest some of these highs. I don't know that we get all the way back up there for December, but I think retesting these highs around 1.0, maybe the 110 area you could get up into for December. If we get a massive rejection today and this thing just crashes and we close back inside this fair value gap, that's not going to be looking too good as we head into December. So kind of just stuck in this big choppy range in here for most of the year. and that's fine. There's still going to be great trends on the lower time frame. Closing out the week here, you can see the play that I have would put us back, targeting back underneath the prior week's lows. Let's see if I can pull that up. These lows last week are what I would be targeting if you could get into a short play. And this is assuming news works out in favor. You get a little spike up there into that breaker, and then it drops. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. Similar play setup here on pound. Probably somewhere up above this high, I would be looking for a pullback entry or maybe back up into this order block and then target these relative equal lows. There's a lot of clean sell side liquidity on GU that just looks real juicy, and we haven't revisited it at all. So wouldn't surprise me if we get a decent run today and tomorrow. Well, today closes out October, but for the weekly candle, you could still push down a little bit. We've pushed right back up into here. I could see us wanting to maybe pull back down a little bit. Dollar has shown some strength after reaching into these swing levels here. It's knocked out. These are old daily and weekly swing levels that it's run through, and now it's pulling back up inside of here. This fair value gap could be a draw on liquidity. You do have some relative equal highs up here. Nice swing levels that it could be wanting to return to. So we'll look to see if we get some dollar strength out of the news this morning. If it comes in where if there's no relief, I guess, on the numbers that they show, the dollar is probably going to continue to be weak. If the numbers hit their target or are better, I'm sorry, I said that backwards. If the numbers come in showing that it's not cooling off, then you'll probably have a strong dollar. If the numbers come in and they are better than to be expected, then the dollar should continue its weak sell-off. So we're just going to have to kind of watch and wait and see what's going to happen. We'll wait until 8:30 to trade any forex pairs or call any of that out with the dollar crosses. Gold just consolidating here, probably waiting for a lot of that news. NQ and ES, both the ES and the NAS are both kind of just locked into this little choppy range. Oil is what I've kind of had my eye on. This was the trade I took last night on oil. Was just anticipating a run of the previous day high and the swing high that it left in place yesterday. Didn't get up to it. I was anticipating that run, 78.50-ish. And so last night, this is the Asian session. I just took we had a quick displacement. I was just pulling. This is just a quick breaker retrace entry is all it was doing. Just looking to get in on the pullback, that leg up, left it in place. So yesterday's high. So I was like, they're going to tap into yesterday's high. They're just any kind of pullback I get that will run yesterday's high. That's what I was content with. And that got the second 100K challenge off into profit. Looking at it, I wish I would have held to the higher targets, but it is what it is. It's fine. Oil ran up, and let's jump up into a 15-minute time frame here. Aggressively ran up into these swing levels, spiked hard, and has since come back down, but it hasn't been able to displace lower off of these levels. We haven't had any candle closes below those swing levels down here. And you can see on the 30-minute, it's all it has done is wicked up, wicked down. So I'm just going to kind of sit on my laurels here and wait and see. We have this swing level here that we left in place. That's Tuesday's high. So just kind of in this big range. When you zoom out to the higher time frames, you can see we're just chopping. We moved from a very clean and clear downtrend into this now choppy range. So moving down, and now we're moving sideways. So We're at the top end of the consolidation here in oil. So I guess what I would be looking for is what does it want to do? Does it want do I think it's going to try and test the top of this range again? There's the other thing with oil is that there's OPEC meetings going on all day again today. So that's kind of like the Fed meeting. You just kind of wait and see what they're going to do. Are they going to increase production cuts? If they do increase production cuts, you would anticipate a rise in price. If they leave quotas the same, they're probably not going to increase quotas. So the question is are they going to stay neutral or are they going to increase the cuts? So if they stay neutral, probably see price coming back down to this range. If OPEC comes out and says, hey, yeah, we're probably bringing some cuts in, this thing will probably take off back up into the $80, $85 a barrel range, somewhere up in there. So that's what we're watching and waiting for. Probably not a lot to do except sit on our hands and hang out with the chat until the news passes at 8:30. I don't know that I want to try and sit here and just scalp, knowing news is coming, knowing that you're probably just going to get into this chop as we wait for some of the economic factors to come out and get dropped and revealed to us. Interestingly, on overnight, ES took out the overnight highs, and NAS had yet to do that. It looks like NAS is trying to reach back up in there. I did catch this great trade yesterday. We can go over that off of NQ, this huge drop off of NQ, and it was a sell stop entry. And so what I was doing, oh gosh, where did it go? Okay, here we go. Caught this great trade. Now, I'm going to see if I can, let's see if I can get this to work, split screen, so I can show you, oops, that's not what I wanted. What time was that? That was 10 a.m. on Wednesday. There it is. All right. So what do you see here? You have ES on the right and you have NAS on the left. And I took the NAS trade. And if I get these up, you can probably tell why. You can see right here, we're consolidating, right? What time frame is that? What time frame is this? 2 minutes? Let's get down to the 2 minute. Here we go. Beautiful SMT right here. So you can see as we're on NAS, we're consolidating. And right here, look at where the cursor is on ES over here, right? Right here, ES pumps up and takes out that last swing level. And then it begins, right, and I'm seeing NAS showing no desire or willingness to go above this consolidation. But over here on ES, you see ES pop up and start to roll over. And as I see that, I also see down here very, very clean sell side liquidity. Very clean sell side liquidity targets. And it actually, there was even more down here, but this was the first initial. This gave me a very great risk reward, 3.2 risk reward ratio. I just had a sell stop. It wasn't a market order. It was a sell stop. As this candle was climbing back up, I was just anticipating. This was just a complete anticipation of this is going to, we had a quick run up. We had consolidation. We had a failure to displace higher, but ES did displace higher. So this is the weaker sister. And so this was just in anticipation of a run of the sell side liquidity. And I put a sell stop in as price was up into this level. I said if price is going to come back down and run this, it's probably just going to run all the way to the sell side. And that's exactly what happened. And that was like 6 minutes. Made 2%, almost 2% on the account at that point. It was like 1.8% or something on the account. Great trade. And just an easy SMT delivery. So you have these correlated assets. One is consolidating, fails to make a high. One's consolidating, runs liquidity and starts to roll over. And you just take the weaker one. The NAS showed no need to run up and grab those last few orders. The ES did. This was your clue right here that this was about to drop. When ES runs it and NQ doesn't, and you're already at a premium, you're at a very high premium for the day, and there's very clean sell side targets right below you. Beautiful, easy setup to grab there. So that was the NQ play that I took yesterday, and that was around the 10 o'clock hour. So there's that. Let me get back off 15-minute time frame. Let me go back over here. Here we go. And if you're actually doubting me, this was... I did post those executions in the thing. I don't know if I had to log back out and log back into my Tradevate on this. And I guess it doesn't. Yeah, so it doesn't have any of my old orders in here when it logs me out. So I can't put those executions up there. I don't know why it logs me out. Maybe if I close TradingView and I have to open it back up, it makes me log back into the Tradevate stuff. All right, so just kind of a boring early stream here. Not really looking to try to do anything until this news comes out. We'll see if we get some kind of Judas swing here pre-market on something. Again, gold futures are also just kind of, we're in this choppy consolidation range here. We are trading the February contract on gold. Corey, what's going on? Red Ezekiel, Beeswax, News Lafifi, good morning, and Mr. Partha G, good morning always. Glad you guys are in, and welcome back to the stream. No Cisco, no John. So far today. Oh, I forgot to light my candle. I'm gonna have to go get my candle lighter and get my Leo Ben Autumn Fireside going. Yeah, let me go get my candle lighter. Come on. There we go. The Leo Ben Candle Company coming in strong. All I've got marked here is previous day high, previous day low. We've taken out previous day low currently on gold. Just barely reached into this fair value gap now. We've been on a very aggressive run up here. We've taken out the sell side, the buy side targets, reached up into sold fair value gap here. Oh, weekly candle, what's it look like? Monthly, closing out the month. Looks like we're probably going to end up displacing over last month's high. What's up, George? Welcome in, bud. Very steep, aggressive descending channel here on gold there. Just on the 5-minute time frame, just inside. Represents, and then you've got some pretty clean buy side targets up here. Ran sell side liquidity, displaced up, came back down, rebalanced, shot up. Rebalance some of this. My guess is that we're just not going to get much movement on any pairs. I don't think you're going to see any major displacing moves until this news comes out at 8:30. Very tight overnight, and it's just, this is NQ, very just wound up. No real big movements. Did clean out some overnight lows and then right back up into the range just to chop out. This did not produce any kind of displacement higher. Similarly on ES, ran it and then popped right back up into it. We're a little bit higher now, but not much. Let's look at the monthly here. Big bullish candle here on the monthly, closing out interesting that it's leaving behind these highs if depending on how the week closes out. Do you have a big fair value gap underneath here? Small one right underneath the current week low. Just been chopping for the last couple days. It's crazy that it ran right up to a couple ticks of that swing high and then left it. So why do you think they do that? Because they're going to want to run it. Whether they run that today or tomorrow or into December. But that's crazy. It ran right to it and then just collapsed off. What's the sell side that it wants to grab before it runs that again? Previous day low, previous week low. Don't know. Maybe it doesn't need it. Maybe it got it yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and take some of these lines off here. These were the old swing levels there that it's hovering around right now. It's fine. It's already been taken. The buy side's been taken, so we will work with new levels now. If we look on the daily, we're already trading above the previous day high, and we're trading above the previous week high. What's up, Emmanuel? Glad you're back, buddy. Welcome in. All right, we got another hour to kill. What are we gonna do? Oh goodness. I guess we could get an update on everybody that's in the stream, how their chats are going, or how their challenges are going, how their funded accounts are going. Just let me know. Let me know if you're in a challenge. Let me know if you're in a funded account. Let me know if you're looking to buy one or to take one, if you're going to stop trading by the end of the year. Are you going to trade all the way through the Christmas holidays? Like what's your plans coming up for the next month? What is your plan of attack? $2024 is just around the corner. We need to start putting together our annual review. We need to look back over the year, see how we've done. We need to start putting together a plan to improve for 2024. What are we going to do for that? How are we going to take what we've learned from this year of trading and apply it into our new year? And how can we become better? How can we become more disciplined? How can we become more patient? How can we become more efficient? How can we become more disciplined when it comes to execution, entry, trade management, profit taking? How can we get payouts? That is really, how can we become profitable, consistently paid out traders? Loyalty Fam says currently got a have a funded 10K account. Congratulations. Just 0.5% up. That's great. Looking for 2% and then wait for the payout. That's a great plan. 2% a month. Do that for 6 or 7 months, and then go do another account and stack it up, man. Emmanuel says, I'm in a challenge, decided to trade someone else's system to pass the challenge, and it took me down 7%. I'm back to trading my system. Whew. That's not great, man. Why would you switch your strategy? Was your strategy not working? And so that's why you decided to use someone else's trading system? Or you just got a crazy itch and decided you just needed to do it? I'd be interested to know what happened. Corey says, I'm in 3% drawdown on a phase 2. Mine seemed slow, so I wanted to pass it fast. Yeah, see, I think that's where a lot of people just get so jacked up, is the impatience. I think the impatience that comes from seeing other people get payouts, seeing other people pass challenges, seeing other people seemingly on social media make it look easy, and that they're always just passing accounts, or they're passing challenges, or they're getting certificates, or they're posting payouts. And you don't see all of the stuff that they failed. You don't see the gambles they've taken. They only post the good stuff, man. And sorry, I got a tag in the shirt that's scratching me. I'm like, what the heck? You got to step back, and you've got to understand the process, that your trading system and your trading strategy are yours. It has to be 100% who you are, and you have to know it inside and out, and you have to understand what your data says. Not someone else's data, what your data says. If you know what your data says, then you can extrapolate out about how long it's going to take you to pass a challenge. And then just accept that. That's reality. Don't try and force someone else's square peg into your round hole. Don't try to create something that doesn't exist. Embrace who you are. Embrace who you are as a trader. Look at your data, and then extrapolate that out, and then you can have a decent time frame about how long it should take you to pass a challenge. And if it takes you, maybe it is you're just not. You still are just. It sounds like fighting this kind of impatience mindset where things need to happen fast. You want to get there quick. That's only going to introduce more frustration and pain, because you're not ready. You're not ready to move that fast. There's just simple, basic things that need to happen in your trading mindset that just aren't there yet. Making it happen fast is not the point. That's not the goal. The goal is not to get there fast. The goal is to get there and to stay there. And it doesn't matter if it takes you twice as long or 5 times as long as someone else. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is you becoming the best trader you can be. And however long that takes, that's however long it's going to take. You try to rush this, you're going to get burned, you're going to blow accounts, you're going to walk away from it because you just think, oh, everybody, I can't do this. This is a scam. No one else, these people, they're just whatever. You know, I mean, you come up with all the excuses and rationalizations to walk away because you couldn't do it. When in the reality is that you just didn't apply the proper discipline and mindset. And getting off social media is probably one of the quickest, best things you can do when you're struggling like that. What's up, T-Lou? ES slowly climbing up here. See how it responds to this order block, hourly order block here. Sure, man. I used to struggle with, I used to really struggle with the patience, you know. I used to really struggle with this need, this innate desire to get there quickly. That if I could just get to a funded stage fast, if I could just get a payout quick, then everything's going to be okay. The problem is that you just create all these bad habits along the way, trying to make it happen fast. And the ironic thing is that when you slow down, everything becomes clearer. when you don't put a time limit on yourself, when you don't self-impose these deadlines or whatever on yourself, you just become a trader, and it's so much easier to focus on your strategy, your setups, your entries, all of those things that you have to lean into and embrace every single time you sit down at the charts. Man, this consolidation is it's maddening. It's mind maddening is what it is. It is just, come on. Can we just get to the news? Why do we have to wait? I know I'm talking about not being patient, but I'm sitting here knowing that you're not going to do anything for the next hour while you're on a live stream. Knowing that you're just sitting here watching these little bitty candles print for the next 45 minutes until the news comes out. It's so dumb. It's not fun. Again, on the Forex side of things, this is what I'm looking for on Euro dollar. Stab back up into this breaker block over here. I don't know where my sidekicks are. Mr. Alfie, Cisco, Big John. Everybody's out today. There he is. Been quiet. think these relative equal lows down here on oil might want to get swept through. Like the Beetlejuice, gotta say my name. Yeah. Call him up. Sitting on the sidelines until his name's called. Beetle Jones. That's not bad. I watched, by the way, John, I watched a little bit of Top Step TV yesterday. Interesting. I mean, it was interesting. I only watched like the first probably like 30 minutes of their live stream where they basically did market analysis and, I didn't get into, I don't know if they actually trade live on the stream or not, but I didn't get that far. I didn't have time. But it's interesting. I didn't hear that mention. If they did, I didn't stay on that long. You? I don't. I've never heard you say anything corny ever before. I don't know. I don't know why they would say that. To me, previous day low is more likely to get hit here than previous day high. This is previous day high. I think we're more likely to hit previous day low on ES and NQ. Running up into buy side right now. Not aggressively, just trickling up slowly, slowly, slowly. What's up, Bonsai? Welcome in, man. What's your honest opinion? When you say interesting, that's the thing I say when I'm at a friend's house for supper and their wife makes something god awful. It's so bad the cat tried to bury it. Interesting in that I don't know. It's just a different vibe. And I think a lot of it is just the way they talk about, I've heard you use some of the definitions or some of the words and terminology that they use to how they talk about defining price action, that kind of stuff. It really is just more new to me in how you talk about price action. That's why it was interesting. I was just listening and watching. So that's all. I mean, that's what I mean by it. I don't know. I wasn't like blown away positively, and I wasn't disgusted by it negatively. It was just like, okay, this is interesting. I'm just seeing how other people live stream, seeing what they talk about, how they interact with the market, how they interact with each other. I look at it from all kinds of different evaluational standpoints, not just the market stuff, not just the trading stuff. So uh, it's very busy. I didn't like all of the scrolling text across the top and the bottom constantly. That I didn't really like that. I didn't care for that. Like all the news headlines and then at the bottom and then across the top there was just like all the people they're paying out, I guess, nonstop. It's just like um but besides that, I mean, and again, I only watched for about 30 minutes. I didn't get into any, it was really all of like their pre-market analysis where they were just kind of talking about what happened yesterday or what happened, what they were kind of expecting to happen that day, that kind of stuff. Talked about news, different things going on. So I was not blown away, but I mean, it is what it is. It's fine. It's Yeah, I kind of got that vibe that they're trying to replicate kind of that television produced look and feel, and it just my personal opinion is that it's like when you try to copy something else and you don't do a good job at it, that if it doesn't even meet that certain like standard or criteria, it's just it makes you look more amateurish than if you would just do something that's unique to yourself, I guess is the best way to say that. So, and what I mean by that is like just personally, it's like, well, your mic volumes aren't even the same. You're not even using the same microphone. So one of you sounds different than the other. Your lighting's not the same. So one of you looks differently than the other. The audio just doesn't match up. The lighting doesn't match up. The look and feel doesn't match up. And yeah, you can put the overlays on it that you can use, but it just doesn't, it feels like you're trying to copy and become something and to make yourself look relevant and professional, but you're not professional, if that makes sense. Like you can't compete with the production quality of CNBC. You can't compete with the production quality of MSNBC. You you look like guys who are trying to be cool, but you're not. And I don't mean that in a negative way. That's just my personal evaluation of what I saw. Like I'm like they obviously have a great company. Like no doubt about it. They have a fantastic company. And it's doing really well and people want to use them. But the look and feel of it all is what I'm talking about. It's like that. It's like that. You guys are trying. It's like when you go to, I don't know. It's like when you go listen to a cover band play and they're okay, but they're not that great. They're just doing versions of popular songs that are decent. It's kind of like that. It's like you're trying to be the cover band of the trading live stream to make yourself look like you have the same relevance and credibility that other people do, if that makes sense. And that's only based on look and feel. That has nothing to do with their trading ability. It has nothing to do with their analysis. It has nothing to do with the way they are successful as business people or as traders. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that's the vibe you get when you look at it. At least it was for me. No, I'll probably check it out again. It's I'll probably check it out again. I'm definitely not one to spend who is just like, oh well, I gave it 30 minutes and I'm not gonna like me when I started the stream, I didn't know what I was doing. So you always are gonna try to do something that you've seen someone else do. We all do that. We all do what someone else has done and shown to us how to do it. So I get why they want to do that and why they kind of build the look and feel and their brand the way they do on that live stream. But it just feels like underground public television broadcast, if that makes sense. And maybe they're cool with that. But that's the vibe it puts off. And all I'm saying is like don't try to be that. Like be just be you guys. Don't try to, I don't know. Like I don't even know what else I'm trying to say there other than just I'll go back and I will watch it again. But I also don't like to trade. I don't like to trade anymore while other people are trading. It I don't it's not helpful for me at this point in my trading path and journey. It's not helpful for me now. I can understand why it would be helpful for some people to have that going on and to learn and to grasp and understand and get new terminology if they're just learning or if they're just trying to, figure out what everyone else is doing or how they're doing it or whatever it is. Like, I get it. It's fascinating. And I'm sitting here as someone who's streaming, trading, and having other people sit here and watch what I'm doing. So, but for me personally, it's not helpful for me to it's not helpful for me to have my charts open and be taking trades while other people are telling me what they think should happen. It can screw up my bias and my analysis too easily. I want to know why I'm trading and why I'm taking every single trade I'm taking, and I want to know it and believe it deep inside the deepest part of the core of my soul. Like I don't want anybody else speaking into that. Because I used to do that, and I would used to get my bias would just switch and change depending on who I was following on Twitter that day or what Discord group I was in. Corey, I'm not trying to be like just some critical person about it. You just asked what I meant when I said it was interesting. There was just a lot of first impressions. I mean, you get one chance to make a first impression, right? That was my first impression to it, and that was just my initial takeaway. And I'm not, again, that's totally production value. It didn't really have much to do with content. Content was fine. Like listening to these guys talk, listening to them break down the news, listening to them kind of get into some chart analysis is fine. Whatever. It's just, to me, it was just more of the product. I was anticipating. I guess my expectation, hearing you talk about it so much, and how much you love watching those guys, which is cool. I'm glad you do. I guess my expectation was just higher going into watching that stream. I was just expecting something a little more. I guess maybe I was expecting something a little more polished, a little more like this is a major company in the prop firm world. Thousands and thousands of people are using them, watching them, affiliated with them, etc. And so I don't know. I was just expecting. I guess my expectation was that it would be a little more polished and professional looking, I guess, so to speak. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overshooting it and I'm overthinking it. They live trade at 8:30 Eastern and then have interviews at 10 and play a Kaboot game for free state stuff at 10:45. Live coaching after that. Gotcha. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, 1,000 people tuning into your live stream is freaking awesome. I've got 15. So what the hell? Why the hell should you care what I think? I've got 15 people watching. My opinion means nothing. Yeah, Ben, we're talking about Top Step. I watched it a little bit yesterday, and John was just asking me my opinion. Former pit traders, and Eddie did a stint with Second City. That's cool. I mean, again, they seem like very knowledgeable traders and very knowledgeable people. I guess that was just my first impression of what I was watching. Was this is I feel like they could do a better job with their just overall production on their live stream, audio, lighting, getting it all look to feel more similar or whatever. And maybe that's just because I have a sound recording technology degree, and I kind of traffic in the production world on a weekly basis with my real life job. So I may just be more biased about all that, have a stronger opinion about it than other people. A lot of people just may not even give a crap about it. So, and that's fine. Coming into the top of the hour here, and getting a nice little rejection here on NQ off of this buy side liquidity. We'll see how the hourly candle wants to close out. And then we've got news in about 30 minutes. ES is not showing the weakness that NQ is. ES is a little bit stronger this morning. For the first time, I felt like I had answers to things instead of because I wrote the algorithm. Listen, if their system and their process and their explanation and all of that is what makes trading click, then dude, embrace it. Dive all the way in and get as deep as you can. Like I am. You guys, I've talked about ICT before. I don't think he's this godlike figure that some of his people make him out to be. But his concepts, and whether they're his or not, whether he got them from someone else or not, the concepts of liquidity and the way price moves to and from certain points of the market, the way his concepts to explain that, they make the most sense to me. The guy himself, take him or leave him. Don't give a crap. All I know is that things clicked, light bulbs went off, and my charts cleaned up, and I just have a much easier time understanding and prepping out my day and what I want to see happen and how I want to take my entries and manage my trades. All of it. It's just the whole trading concept, the ICT / smart money concept of price moves from liquidity pool to liquidity pool, internal and external liquidity, how you define those, what they look like, how time of day makes a difference, and time of the week, time of the month, time of the year, all of those things, like everything, the concepts themselves, whether I know he didn't just invent them, right? He's obviously been influenced by so many other people. Forget the guy himself. The concepts themselves are what clicked for me. So if the concepts on the Top Step TV guys, if the way that they explain the market, if the way that they explain how price moves and their expectations and all of these different things, if their terminology and their framework for it is what helps you understand and reach that point of having some confidence in why you're doing what you're doing, then dude, that's exactly who you should be listening to. That is exactly who you should be listening to. The whole thing is an auction, and the market's job is to facilitate trade. I do believe that there is some part of that is true. And I think all I'm saying is that the way it facilitates trade is from liquidity to liquidity. I mean, I've just seen it play out over time inside the market on charts over and over again, where it just runs clean lows so that it can run higher. It grabs the liquidity, the orders that are resting underneath these levels, so that it can run higher. If it wants to, if it wants to buy low and prices up here, and it knows that all of these buy stops are under here or sell stops are under here, it's going to run them so that it can collect orders and run higher. I mean, that's just the way it makes sense to me. And yes, the auction, it is an auction. You are not wrong about that. And people trade, but the people that actually are moving the market are not the several thousand retail traders. So if the retail traders are not moving the market, which I don't believe they are, I believe the retail traders are the small fish in a big pond. And so the big pond people, the billionaires and heads of state, or at least organizations inside governments, they're the ones that are controlling the market ultimately. That's why we have central banks determining interest rates to strengthen or weaken their currency to a certain point in the market. I mean, that's the whole point. We are not controlling the market. We are not controlling the price of the market. My contract, your contract, and our contracts together are not controlling the market. I do not believe that at all. So I'm just trying to find out where do they, being the composite man, right? The big money, the higher, the smart money, the big fish, where are they swimming with the current? And I just want to get behind their wake and ride it with them. That's all I'm trying to do. So yes, I do agree with you that the whole thing is an auction. That's the way the framework upon which it's built is the auction system. 100%. Bid and ask. I have something, I'll sell it to you at this price, and somebody else says, well, I'll sell it to you at this price. It's a better deal. So bid and ask, I get it. That's the way it externally functions. But internally, why is price moving to certain levels and not others? It's not because of the bid and ask. At least not it the auction does exist for the big fish too. That's the auction you want to be a part of, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So if you can find out how to get into that auction, which is why I think the understanding of liquidity and where price wants to draw towards old swing highs, old swing lows, and then reverse, order blocks, fair value gaps, all of those things. Those are just ways and concepts to help me understand where the true auction is taking place, I guess. That's probably the way I would define it. The auction that we're a part of is not moving the market. That I will die on that hill. We're allowed to participate in the auction, and we use the same framework. 100% we do. But we are not moving the market. This is not a battle between bulls and bears. It's not about who's in control, bulls or bears. It is about where does the smart money, the big money, want to move the market to. And that's not me saying there's an algorithm doing that. I truly believe that there's actual people trading that move the market, not an algorithm. But the way they move it, hedge funds. The name is in itself. They hedge. They have positions both long and short, and so they're constantly mitigating price and moving price in and out of positions to mitigate their drawdown depending on what position they're in, and they're hedging. So they have both longs and shorts. So they will sell up here to push price down. That sell is now in profit, but their goal was to just buy at a lower price. And so they sold. They forced the auction lower because they could move such size to grab these orders that are resting underneath here, so that now their sells are underwater. Well, now they have to come back and mitigate those sells. They need to come back. That sell is now in a drawdown. What they really wanted to do is buy, but to buy at first, they needed to buy down here. So they moved the market lower so they could buy lower. Well, then they started buying up all of these orders to send price higher. And now these sells are underwater. They need to come back and mitigate those, get out of those drawdown sells that they used initially to create that run in the first place. That's all smart money concepts. It's just, if you need to move massive size in the market, you're not going to just get it where you want it. You've got to parcel it out along the way. I'm still trading Forex, but today and tomorrow, I'm just going to be focusing, George, on my Apex accounts. And then I'm going to decide if I want to do Forex for December. Typically, I only trade the first couple of weeks in December anyway. And so I'm trying to decide, do I want to start a new 10K challenge going into December? I don't know that I do. And I've got these futures accounts going. And so maybe I'm just going to focus on them for the last couple of weeks. I'm still going to be looking at Forex. This is the play I have on Euro dollar up right now. A pullback up into this breaker block and then a continuation lower into some of these this sell side liquidity here. So we'll still be looking at Forex while I'm on the stream for sure, absolutely. But right now, I'm mostly going to be working on my Apex 100K futures account challenges. This is a new challenge for me. I've never done the futures before, so this is all brand new. And you guys get to watch it. All 12 of you get to watch it play out every single day. So hope you enjoy the futures challenge that I'm doing. I had the best day ever yesterday. Besides picking up 14 handles on Micro ES, I picked up $1.91 on oil. Cool. Wished I could have traded mini in full. Dude, that's great, man. Way to go. That is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. What's up, Alfie? Welcome in, man. It's okay to be late. Didn't miss much. We've just been we haven't done any trading because we're waiting on the news to come out. We're just chilling. We've just been talking. Not much of anything is going on. You're paying so much in commissions? What do you mean? John says, can't decide if I'd rather trade the mini, which allows me to have multiple TPs and a runner, or the regular. John, I just went into it with, I'm just going to trade the regular. I don't like taking partials. I just like taking fulls. So for me, that's why I decided just to go with regular contracts. Just open one or two, depending on what my risk needs to be. And then just close the full position and not worry about the runners. So, but that's just my preference right now. Not, how do you know if you're not trading with enough risk? I mean, I'm doing a 100K and I have to make 6% profit, and I'm risking between a third a percent and just over like 2/3 of a percent. So I don't have a specific number in mind when I go into it, but somewhere between a third of a percent and 2/3 of a percent is what I'm risking per trade. And I'm trying to make at least a 1-to-1 on the scalps, and maybe higher if I have a clear draw on liquidity like I did yesterday with that NQ trade where I could do a 1-to-3. That was beautiful. And it ended up giving even more than that. But that's what I'm risking, is a minimum of a third of a percent, a third, half, 2/3 of a percent. I haven't gone up to a full percent only because there's a 3% trailing drawdown. So that's why I chose a third of a percent to half of a percent. That's going to give me, I would have to lose, somewhere between 8 to 10 in a row to blow the challenge, to hit the trailing drawdown. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. The nice thing, I don't know if Top Step does this, but for Apex, the trailing drawdown moves up during the evaluation phase. So while you're trying to hit 6%, that 3% profit or 3% trailing drawdown is moving up the entire time. But once you pass and once you get funded, that trailing drawdown goes up to, once it's $100 over the account balance, it stops. There is no more trailing drawdown. So it's only during the evaluation phase that you have the full trailing drawdown all the way through. And I don't know if Top Step is similar to that or does the same thing, but Beeswax, I this morning took my first position with 10K challenge account. I won. Great job. Closed it for 0.25%. Wanted to close before news. Good job, Beeswax, and congratulations on getting into profit, bud. That's awesome. Consolidation. So we're going to wait for some, see what happens. We've got about 15 more minutes until the news comes out. I'm going to get up here on the 5-minute chart, see what's going on. Taking out buy side liquidity on ES. We've taken out some buy side liquidity on NQ. So we're just going to watch. I'm going to wait and see what kind of reaction we get here. We get a Judas swing at the 8:30. Gold ripping up through this channel trend line here. Do have some nice buy side up here. Obviously some clean. It took out this swing level. Not a super deep run into that, but took out the previous day's low, previous week into that fair value gap, and is climbing back up here. It is. Oh, you're referring to the Top Step. Same thing. It's raining here. It's going to rain all day today. What time do I have to be somewhere? Sorry, had to talk with the wifey. All right, so probably we'll get some kind of opportunity here after this news drops for us. Oil's reaching back up above those highs here. OPEC meetings going on all day today, so thanks, babe. Sorry, she had to get me some headache medicine. My head pounding this morning. I don't know if it's the weather change with the storm or what. My head is killing me right now. You talking about trying to figure out what you're talking about, John. 11:14. The short-term high on 11:14. What? Is that what SH? I'm not sure if SH is short-term high. I'm just assuming it's short-term high. That would be swing high. Oh, swing high. Is Bespoke aware you divorce? I'm not divorcing them. No. It's just I'm not doing like I have no agreement with Bespoke that I have to do. I have to always be doing a 10K challenge with them. I was doing a challenge before they ever came on as a stream sponsor. They're just sponsoring the stream, and I'm definitely not divorcing them. I just may not start a brand new challenge going into the last 2 weeks of the year that I'm going to be trading. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. What do you mean it didn't take out the swing high on 11:14? I'm still baffled by this. The swing high on 11:14 is here. It took out that swing high. I'm just maybe I'm just super confused. I'm not even looking at it. I'm on the wrong freaking chart. Oh my gosh. This is what you're talking about. Yeah, this was yesterday, and I still think they're going to run it. Ran right up to it and left it. That's hilarious. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. Thank you, John. Got it. Ben says, how does everyone find trading in January? I'm newish to trading, so unfamiliar with market cycles and seasonal tendencies. Market's open. It's just I don't like to trade the last 2 weeks of the year. I typically have not had great success there, and also at least the first week of the year, I don't trade. So I usually have about 3 weeks where I'm not on the charts at all. The last 2 weeks of the year, and then the first week of January, I'll start looking in the second week of January. We'll see how it goes. But if you listen to a lot of the professionals, they basically don't trade in December or January. They come back in February, and they trade from February through November. But market's open and it's moving, so liquidity it's still to me moves from liquidity to liquidity. So I don't know if I'm going to stream every day if I'm not going to be trading. I don't know. Maybe if we still have these Apex accounts, maybe we'll trade futures and go through it that way. I don't know. I'm completely up in the air right now about what I want to do with December and January. Because I don't really just want to wake up early to come stream to do nothing. So if I'm not going to be trading, personally, I just don't want to do that. So I don't know. All right, guys, just about 7 more minutes, and we can finally start really looking to see how the market wants to move today after we can get some news dropping here. Oil's finally breaking out of its little consolidation, getting a nice impulse move up here. Sorry. I wish I knew how to quit you. I don't see the fascination personally. I'm still shocked people show up every single day here to watch this. How long have I been streaming? We started in May. We started streaming in May, middle of May. So just over 6 months now. Always up for a good broke back reference. Where else can we talk about gilded cows? 1:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, I know. Gilded Gals is ripping right now. Speak of the devil. Little pre-news movement going on. Five more minutes. I don't know where else talks about the Gilded Gals quite like we do. I'm not sure of the other streams how they treat the Gilded Gals. Yeah, gold's gonna definitely open with a gap here. See if it wants to close that out or not. Oh, I wouldn't call that a big pump. These candles all look very similar to what's been going on since yesterday's close. These are not big pumps. Have you done a poll on where the news will send the candles? No, we've not. We've not done a poll. We did not do a poll today. My guess is they're going to continue to show that the economy is improving and everything is just perfectly fine, and in fact improving and doing better. Well, yeah, if you're looking at the 1 minute time frame, it's gonna you jump up to the 5-10 minutes. They're all nothing is really pumping, I would say. These are pumps or drops, right? This is just chop. It's all chop. There's nothing, there's no strong movement in any direction. It's creeping up. It's been creeping up all morning, waiting for news. This could just be a run of we're just consolidating, grabbing sell orders so we can run the previous day low. I guess we'll watch ES here. Jump up on the 5 minute, see how ES wants to respond to this news. Euro dollar creeping back up towards this breaker block. Pound as well. Oh man. 1-5-15. I got you. I don't like looking at multiple charts at the same time. Unless they're correlated like ES and NQ, maybe having both of those open so you can see if something's taken out a high or a low that the other one's not. If market doesn't close that gap quickly, it will run in the direction of the gap. Correct. Have fun in the Gilded Gals, John. I hope it works out for you. We'll be waiting outside. Hopefully you come out with a smile on your face and not a black eye. What's it gonna be? We'll drop on ES here to start. Could be a Judas swing. And there's the rip higher on gold. Wow. Big rip higher on gold. Trying to close that gap. And then dropped away. Wick up, wick down, wick up, wick down. It's like, what's hell happening here? Euro dollar got tapped in on that that little entry. What was the news? So everything came in as expected. Personal income came in at point 0.2, personal spending point 0.2, core PCE came in at point 0.2. So, I would think this is going to be, I would think it'd be good news for the market. Not bad. I would think the dollar would want to. Why is this? This needs to be DXY. I would think the dollar would continue to show some weakness here, not strength, but I could be wrong. we could just chop. We could just absolutely chop 100%. We could just do nothing. I would like to take a stab on oil here. But I don't know what I want to do. I don't know if it wants to run these. It's got very clean sell side liquidity here. Obviously, the high from the 14th is still in place, the swing high. We ran up, ran down, grabbed buy side liquidity, displaced lower. ES and NQ just chopping. A black song will move us at this point. It'll break out. It's the last day of the month. So risk flare. It is a great handle. It's the last day of the month. Typically, last day this is the month. If you've been rocketing in one direction all month very aggressively, typically the last day of the month you don't typically close out at the very top or bottom of a month. You're going to have a little bit of a pullback. So just who knows? Ooh. Just waiting for a raid and some displacement. We've had some raids, but we've not had any displacement yet. So until we start seeing some displacement, getting some a little bit on NQ here now. Until you start seeing some displacement, I think previous day low, if it wants to go lower, is probably going to be the draw. You're going to want to see some very clean body candle closures below swing levels. Not very clean displacement on ES. A little bit better on NQ. NQ took out that low. ES did not. This is the 720 low on NQ, and ES didn't reach down that far. Oh, I'm on the wrong. I'm on the wrong. Why was I doing that? This needs to go back to DXY. Dumb. I take a stab short into these relative equal lows here. Bottom end of this range. Risking 1/3% on this, on one of these Apex accounts here. Risk. You talking to? I'm not sure who you're talking to. My name's Brad, and I'm in Texas. I live in Houston. Washington State or DC? I didn't know you had just talked. You were talking with John, and that's why I didn't know if that's what you meant. You can call me Venator or Brad, whatever. I'll respond to pretty much anything. I'm really just looking for price to come back down to the bottom end of this range again one more time. Leave that last swing high in place, hopefully, but we'll see. And we got tagged out on that. Took a $300 loss there. I feel like I've started every day of this challenge with the first loss, and then I'll hit the next trade really hard. So just so you can see, we had all those orders getting filled. Count summary. Took a 300 and just 1/3% from the original balance there. Still at 2% profit on that account. 6% is the goal. Whole lot of chop. Where did my why can't I see my where did my euro dollar? Oh, there it is. Forex trade, breaker block. Nice little sniper entry there. Almost got to 1-to-1. Let's see, that's 30 pips. Not quite 1-to-1. What's up, Dunamis? Welcome in. Welcome in, my friend. The indices are just doing absolutely nothing right now. Oil's whipping around too. My thought on this trade here was we had been consolidating, right, and we get this manipulation up into buy side, and we get a quick displacement back down. And so accumulation, manipulation, distribution, any retest of that upper, after it's run that and come back into the range, a retest of that top into the range would send it back down, and it did not work out that time. So you have the basically accumulation, then you have your you break out, break back in, and then you get your retest, and the retest failed miserably. Took 1/3% risk. It was worth it. I would do it again. Yes, trying to climb up here now. You could take a stab long on gold, John. Target the these highs up here. Or at least these highs. Should we? Should we? Gilded Gal. Fair value gap entry here. There. It's always enticing. This is what the Gilded Gal does to you. This is what the Gilded Gal does to you. Don't have enough context in. It's luring me in. I sat in the window and stared at it long enough. The siren song is singing, and she's getting her stiletto out right now to clobber me upside my temple. You have to act uninterested. Is that the key? Is that the key? Act uninterested. Well, most of the time I can. I blame you. I blame you, John. I blame you, bud. Take a stab at gold and she'll stab you right in the heart. She'll stab you anywhere she can get her knife. It's usually right between the legs. Well, I don't know if anybody took my euro dollar call here, but if you did, you should be in some decent money there, decent profits with basically zero drawdown. She's a beauty. ES took the high. INQ did not. I wanted a higher price to short. Good snip, man. Yeah, the euro dollar trade was really nice, right back up into this breaker block. So the last down close candles that we had, you could either use this 30-minute right here, last down close candle, we run liquidity, and then we finally displaced through that, leaving behind a nice little target area to get a retrace of the London drop, get back into a premium level of that leg down, that displacement leg down. Nice little sniper entry there. If it breaks a new low for the day, I would probably move to break even there. I don't know that I'd be at break even right now. Typically, I like to go like 1.5 or at least over 1-to-1. I keep switching on the wrong. I keep forgetting I need to be back over there. Gold's probably out, huh? Oh, no, still in. Shockingly. I think on this other account, this is my other account there on. Yep, got the black eye that I told John to beware of. It's funny. Couldn't get a body candle close below there. Interesting there on ES. We did on NQ. Take a sell limit order here. This is a limit order. I'm waiting for a pullback. So we've run buy side liquidity. We've displaced through using this as a breaker block entry. Last down close candle here before we run, and then displace through. Fair value gap entry. Targeting the previous low. Risking 1/3%. This is the second 100K Apex account. And you can see ES took out the high again, and NQ did not. So it is the weaker pair. So we're just waiting for a pullback, hopefully at the top of the hour here. We'll see if we can get a push up before it wants to just collapse and run through the previous day low. I don't know why I tried to take that trade on gold. I hate gold. It truly was the siren song. All right, we'll see what happens here at the start of this hour. See if we can get a small wick up. If not, maybe at the 9:30 open, get a Judas swing up into that. Leave that high in place. See you, John. Off to your Top Step TV, boys. And we just get the drop. If you were in that euro dollar trade, I'd probably move to break even here as we make a new low of the day. But God, that's just a beautiful entry. And I don't know that we're going to get that pullback now. Maybe we will. I just keep forgetting which chart I'm supposed to be on when I do this stuff. Yeah, we're taking out the, not quite taking out the London low yet. I don't like the Top Step stream. I agree with you. The quality, yeah, it just felt a little like PBS, like public broadcast television. I don't know. I was just expecting more from such a, a fairly large profile prop firm company in the space. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that limit order. I'm going to wait. Don't want to chase anything here. Here's that oil drop. Good job, Risk. Not trading is just as important as trading, taking trades. So well done. I have 3 setups to look for, and I'm learning ICT SMC slowly right now. That's good. You don't need more than 1 or 2 setups. You can start seeing things on the charts that aren't there, convince yourself of stuff, whatever. 1 or 2 setups is all you need. Master them, learn them inside and out, backwards and forwards. You'll be good to go. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it a day here. Um, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be doing our 10K account giveaway for Bespoke Funding tomorrow morning. I'm not sure what time, between 8 and 9 sometime. I'll let you know. But we'll be here tomorrow, finishing out last couple weeks of the stream. I think I'm probably going to take a break as we head into the Christmas holidays and through the new year. So, but we'll see. I haven't totally decided yet. But follow me on the Discord channel if you're not over in there, and we'll keep you posted on any positions I do take anywhere. But good luck to anyone that's in that euro dollar trade that we called out. Ended up being an absolutely beautiful, beautiful setup and entry there. So you guys have a great day. We will catch you tomorrow. Adios, y'all.